What's up, everybody? Before we start this episode, as always, I want to tell you about my live touring dates. You can see me in Dania Beach, Florida, September 13th through the 15th, Tacoma, Washington, September 19th through the 21st, Las Vegas, September 27th through the 29th, West Nyack, New York, October 11th through the 13th, Brea Improv, October 25th through the 27th, Milwaukee, December 5th through the 7th, Austin, December 20th through the 22nd, Rochester, January 16th through the 18th. Join the Fediverse. Access our weekly bonus episodes at patreon.com/Yannis Pappas Hour. It's only $5 a month. Support the infrastructure here. Thank you for your support. We love the fans, and thank you very much for your viewership and your listenership. Now, let's start the episode. Hello, citizens of America. My name is Yannis Pappas, and I am an absolutely fake newscaster. Fake news should make you happy because real news is going to make you sad. We perused it, and it ain't good. It's no bueno, as the Hispanics and Latinx like to say. Es no bueno. So today, we're just focusing on whales and seawater and fish sticks. Who don't like a good fish stick? A good fish stick with tartar sauce. Tartar sauce, I think, is just mayo with spices. By the way, also Russian dressing brings ketchup and mayonnaise together. So it's the first diversity condiment. It's the first interracial marriage that created a mulatto baby. Thank you to Russian dressing for making Pink's sauce alive. Also, you can make pink sauce by taking tomato sauce and putting a little milk in it. That's what you call vodka sauce. There's a lot of good sauces that are pink. Shout out to the singer Pink as well. She's always had a gymnast's body. And she loves marrying skateboarders. But she started as an R&B artist, singing black music. And now she's a total skateboarder. Much like Machine Gun Kelly. That's how it starts a lot of times. And then they just go, it opens the door, and then they just go full mohawk white. So, you know, Robin DeAngelis, I think, did the same thing. She's been accused of plagiarizing some black authors. So who knows? Maybe her next book after this will be about the white moral nuclear family. And she might do the crossover that Machine Gun Kelly and Pink did. You start out co-opting black culture. That gets you in the door. And then once you're in the door, baby, it's time to start talking about seasonal white waspy recipes in the Hamptons. That was probably the next book. Buy my muffins. They're gluten-free and plastic-free because we don't want those plastics going in your brain, which apparently we're getting plastic in our testicles and in our brain now. Just stop reporting on it. Just stop reporting on bad stuff. Me and Jesse came across an article that there was some mosquito-borne disease that killed a few people. We didn't read it. We don't want to know, okay? But I did read it because I like to know what's bad out there, and supposedly it's very hard to catch, like AIDS if you're straight. Telegram. We're going to talk about Telegram. We're going to talk about the Ruski who started it. It's all the rage. We're going to talk about the importance of NATO and how if Trump gets in office, he needs to understand that we are just going to be paying more for defense than all the NATO countries in Europe and such. Because, hey, when you're the rich guy, who picks up the tab, dude? If I go to dinner with one of my more successful friends, do you think I'm reaching for the wallet? That's how it goes. When you hang out with someone richer than you, does he ever come to your house? Do you know what I'm saying? Nobody goes to hang out at the poorer person's house. The richest guy in the friend crew, his crib becomes the club for hanging. That's how it goes. And America's the rich guy in the club. So he's picking up the dinner tab. We go to a steak restaurant. Who do you think's going to pick it up? You would hope maybe Luxembourg would pick it up. But Luxembourg doesn't want anyone to know that they're secretly rich. They just walk around with a Seiko watch like one of these tech billionaires. Like Adam Sandler, Adam Sandler looks like he's always like putting on whatever's in the closet to just go to the mailbox and come back. And that's how he goes out during the day. You know, and that's how a lot of these tech billionaires are. Mark Zuckerberg issues an apology after probably a long night of hanging out with Dana White. And the Kelsey brothers are about to make $100 million. Don't they need the money for a 3-year deal to do a podcast? We want to listen to the two Kelseys talk about stuff. The Kelsey brothers are football guys. One of them is Mr. Swift. This is the Yannis Pappas Hour, where support for females hopefully will carry us through to bigger numbers.
Yannis Pappas. Yeah. When you all tucked up in the baby long, and the news online going on and on, what's right and wrong, and there's something up. Now here comes a great kid you know you can trust. From the true who's who to the news and cameras, to the fake politics and the propaganda. Yeah, this kid's screwed in, got a lot to say. Oh shit, it's about to be a long day. It's a long day.
I can't wait to tune in to the Kelsey. I can't wait to tune in to hear two football guys who are brothers. The America's in love with the Kelsey brothers. They're great. One of them's dating Taylor Swift. The other one's still dating the girl he's been with forever. They're both football stars. Nowadays, anyone can become a podcaster. And they got a lot of upfront money. I think they probably had some sort of podcast going before, or one of the Kelsey brothers had a podcast going before. But here's my take on this, the Kelsey brothers' new podcast and their $100 million 3-year deal with Wondery, which is owned by Amazon. My take on this is they need the money. This is great for them because they need the money. They both really need the money. We really need this podcast. They need the money. So I'm glad that the Kelsey brothers are not going to be in the poorhouse. Do you ever notice how rich people just there's no way to get poor once you get to a certain stratosphere? They just throw things. They just throw things at you. Please come to my restaurant. Drinks on me. Here's $100 million. You remember when Prince Henry's just like, here, Harry, whatever he is. You know, the black sheep of the royal family. Remember they just threw $300 million at him or whatever. The Obamas got $300 million. It's like, here's you have 100. Here's another 100 more. Nobody ever gets 100 million who's got 3,000 in their bank account. Nobody's ever searching for the diamond in the rough that needs the money. You have to really do a crime, sell your soul, whatever you got to do to get up there. Data Swift, whatever it's got to be to get up there. You got to get up there yourself, and then once you're up there, they're just rich people just play. You remember what was that game? Taps or Keep It Up? You just keep it up in the air. They just keep the ball up in the air. It was taps, right? Mm-hmm. Real city game. I don't know if they played that in the suburbs. Taps, where you just keep the ball. They just keep it up in the air. Another $100 million to the New Height show. So they've been going already. What do the views look like?
Pretty big.
Big, huh?
They got 2.5 million.
They got 2.43 million subscribers, so they deserve the money. They deserve the money. I'm just saying they really need the money. That's the that's the other thing is they really need the money. I don't know. I'm glad to see a couple of boys make good like this. This is great. Legacy Media is really over, dude. Does anyone get $100 million deal besides Stephen A. Smith? Is there anyone making that type of money on ESPN or any of the legacy media shows? Call her daddy. I mean, this girl, she's like got 300 mil. Like, who on TV is getting those type of numbers? Who's even coming close? It's an amazing time for content creators if you can get 100 mil to just sit down with your brother wherever and just podcast. Congratulations to the Kelsey brothers. I like them both. I like these guys, man. I think they deserve every penny of it.
Judge Judy gets paid.
Judge Judy.
47 mil.
47 mil, still Judge Judy. People are still watching Judge Judy adjudicate the important cases of America, creating common law every single day. In hospital waiting rooms across America. She's making 47 mil to adjudicate. Yeah, all the highest actors are from another era. Jennifer Aniston, Matt Damon, Ryan Gosling. Jennifer Aniston, 42 mil she's listed at. But these things are just, I mean, I've looked at these things for other people and I'm going like, it's not correct. Nobody knows what anyone has in their bank account. Nobody knows. So congrats to the Kelsey brothers on their podcast. That's about as good as the news is going to get this week. That's all we got on the positive front. The funny thing is we were searching for positive news and we just couldn't find it this week. It's a really bad week for news. It's all bad news. So we're going to try to make the bad news good today by talking about Trump's trading cards because they're back available for people who want to collect. They're only $99. They're $99. He hasn't paid me 1 cent to promote them, but it's the 4th drop of his NFT. I want a pair of his sneaks. Are those still available? So apparently he's made $1 million on these, right? And I guess what happened was Kamala Harris, after the DNC, was able to raise, I think, $545 million. And I think after that, Stephen Miller and Trumpy sat down and said, it's time to pull back out the NFT trading cards. The RFK endorsement was fun. It got some buzz, the attention back on us. But damn, these Democrats just have deep pockets, dude. Where are the Koch brothers when you need them? Who's funding this pot? I mean, the guy's being sued. Trump is sacrificing it all for you guys. Does he have any money? I mean, he's selling NFT cards. Rudy's selling coffee. Everyone's doing merch big. Right in the middle of the campaign, our boy Donnie T's doing a 4th drop of collectible cards. Our crypto president is what he likes to be called. He says, other people call me that. I don't know. Am I that? I don't know. It features 50 images of Trump, including portrayals of him in an Iron Man suit. No punchline. It's for you. You can't add comedy to comedy sometimes. Sometimes you just got to read the sentence. So if you want a collectible Trump in an Iron Man suit, it's only $99. And I think you can pay 15 or more of the cards will receive a physical card as well. So you can hang that right up next to your Trumpy bear and really spice the living room up. I would love to go to a dinner at a place where we have a Trump memorabilia collector. You know, I used to collect baseball cards as a kid. Do these things have any value? I guess they have value in the community of people who collect the cards, which is like most things now. Everyone thinks, you know what it is? We live in this era where everyone thinks they're the mainstream. And then you go outside. You get on social media, you see a post, you see all the rah-rah in the comment section and the trolls, and then you get off the computer and get in your car, and America seems pretty fine. I mean, groceries, I think, are a little higher for some people. That's bad. But nothing's burning out there. It's pretty, but I think everyone feels like they're the mainstream. So I think if you're into Trump cards, I think the people who are into Trump cards think that they're having like this big impact and they're worth all this money. And it's not worth anything outside of your small circle of sycophants. We're living in this time right now where there's just these like tons of niches where everyone's just circle jerking like this, like doing the Trump circle jerk. And nobody is aware that their circle is tiny and insignificant because they are, they're blowing each other. Everyone in their little circles is just reinforcing the delusion of importance because everyone has some sort of platform and mouthpiece. But in the big picture, nobody's important except for Donnie T and Kamala Harris, Elon Musk, and that's about it. And China. And Joe Biden. And that's it. And Tulsi Gabbard. And the Yannis Pappas Hour. And the Donald Trump Iron Man trading card. But can you imagine, like, when people buy this card, like they do it because they do it for this to support him. And I think it's like a mission, like, let's do it, because he does have sort of like a cult-like appeal, which happens a lot now in these little circles. Somebody with a little charisma will get a bunch of fucking losers around them, and they're all just kind of thinking they're changing the world or they're doing something important or making a difference. But really, they're just kind of jerking each other off and feeling important. Don't you feel that that's a little true? Does anyone know who anyone is when you go outside? But then when you go online and you see the confidence some people yield about their importance and the impression they're making in the world, the digital landscape has just warped everyone's brain into thinking that they're making a change or a difference. It's not happening, baby. The only person who made a difference is our good old Ruski friend who started the Telegram. That guy is making a difference because he's allowing and facilitating ISIS, child pornography, and drug trafficking, but also pro-democracy chats that can go up to like 200,000 members. So again, he's God. Free choice, baby. God gives us free choice. Do we crucify Pavel Durov for creating Telegram, which, to be honest with you, I didn't know existed? I'm a loyal Instagram, Twitter, Facebook guy. I didn't know. I'm not on WhatsApp. I don't go on the one that disappears, Snapchat, that the kids are on, where they're doing God knows what on there. Whoever created Reddit, like, they know it's going to be used for evil. Like, what's good? The guy who created Reddit's like dating Serena Williams, and he's living this great life. Meanwhile, you go on Reddit, and people are just bullying each other, sharing murder videos, and he's just walking away with tons of money, going out there going like, we got to make the world better for females, and just, isn't it funny? They create these products that are used for such nefarious purposes, but they are so pious. They take their fucking money and they just go, I don't know. I'm turning a blind eye. I'm turning a blind eye to the power that I yield with my platform that I created. Like, I didn't even know what was going on. I didn't even know. Pavel Durov goes, I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know. I've heard some things. I've heard some rumors. I've heard some rumors that there was some neo-Nazis that shot up a school in Brazil. I've heard some news that we were temporarily banned in Brazil. I heard some news. I heard some news that there's some child traffickers on there. I've heard some news. But listen, man, just get in there. Get in there undercover and do what you got to do. That's our position, right? What's our official position here at the Yannis Pappas Hour? Is Pavel Durov the billionaire who created Telegram, who lives in Dubai, which has how many? 900 million users? Something like that. What are the unique things about Telegram? You can have a private group up to, 200,000 members. So you can build an online militia. Or you could use it to build a massive whale watching group. When you can amass 200,000 in a private group, it's extremes. The groups are going to be extreme. You're never going to get 200,000 over enthusiasm over books. That doesn't galvanize those type of numbers. You start a book club, you're going to get 2,000 people in your private group. You start a pro-democracy revolution, that's going to convince 200,000 people to get in there. You start a hate the Jews group. I don't even think 200,000, I think they probably hit their limit, and then they started lobbying Pavel or whatever his name is for more space. They're going like, I didn't know I didn't know it was going to be flying off the shelves like this. Terrorist groups. You can do a lot of good stuff. So basically, we talked about it, and I think we kind of reached an agreement, right? So he's just God in this scenario. He's the digital God. He's providing the infrastructure like God did and saying, do with it what you will, my sons and daughters. Do with it what you will. And we did with it what we's do. We did the best of things and the worst of things. And the reason why he's been detained in France, if I didn't mention that, is because he's refused to cooperate with judicial bodies and governments on giving information on some of the criminal activity that they've documented. And, sorry, my nose is itching from all the coke. And they also have criticized him for not moderating any of it. And he goes, hey, man, I'm God. Free will, baby. It's a free will argument. And that's what we've decided is true. We're basically saying law enforcement has to up their game, right? They got to up their game. That's all there is to it. We got to fund them more, but then you got to spend a lot more money on law enforcement, right? And let these billionaires just cake off. So let's put this on the people, is what we decided. Because you can't, you got to do something, right? You can't just let child traffickers communicate coordinates and stuff like that. You can't let ISIS and terrorist groups and neo-Nazi groups just coordinate so they can blow up schools and private chats that law enforcement can't access unless they go undercover, which when they do, maybe they're slow to act because they're an underfunded bureaucracy. So maybe it's time for superheroes. This is what's great about Adam Smith's free market. You have to find a solution for the problem that arises. So it's time now. We need real Trump Iron Man to go. I think the only thing, we've gotten to the point, I think, where we really need to build superheroes. We got AI. We got to morph. We got to combine humans with technology and create Batman. There needs to be vigilantes who are out there preventing this stuff, because I just don't think local law enforcements can keep up with the technology, which is global. You got these people from all over the globe coordinating and conspiring. Conspiracy is a crime. Conspiracy to commit an act, aggravated harassment, or child trafficking, or terrorism, or whatever it is. It runs the gamut from the least extreme to the most. But conspiracy is a crime. There's people conspiring together to do things in groups. And YouTube and Google and Meta, they cooperate with law enforcement more. And I think even Twitter does. They moderate. They have community notes. They have all that stuff. The thing with Telegram is it's complete laissez-faire. So, of course, you got the libertarians up in arms, going free speech, baby, slippery slope. What's next? Edward Snowden, this is bad. They're going to throw us all in camps. Because, of course, baby, gray zone issues get thrown to the wolves. And it's either, you know the deal, you know the dance. You know the deal, and you know the dance. Okay? You know it. We're all going in camps. This is the beginning of George Orwell's 1984. It's full-blown communism or full-blown fascism. Ain't no in-between. You know the fucking two-step. You know the jig. We've been playing this game for about fucking 10 years now, maybe a little less. Everyone is either a fucking enemy, a commie, or a fascist. We talked about it last episode. Ain't no more bipartisan dinner parties that are fun. They end up in violence. So you know the fucking drill. And the usual suspects who love their fucking hearing their voice echo into the ether and getting many retweets and being very relevant, attend the two-step dance party right on cue. Edward Snowden, libertarian voices, then you got your left voices just calling it Armageddon. Gray is out. Gray is out this millennium. Are we in the 21st or 22nd century? I'm no mathematician, but I know we're in the 20s. The 21st century, let me tell you something, is in black and white. We've gone back to black and white because gray is out this season. Gray zones are out. Because any reasonable person on a podcast that does not galvanize you with anger and fervor, doesn't make any radical calls to action, and are usually viewed less, will tell you that this issue is a gray zone issue, right? There's any reasonable person can see merit on both sides. Obviously, what did Pavel Durov himself do wrong, right? What did he do? Did he not cooperate with law enforcement? He's just a business guy, created a business. People could use telephones. They could use cell phones. I guess those companies do cooperate with law enforcement. Maybe there's a law in the EU that says you have to cooperate, and he didn't. I don't know the specifics. And on those issues, I don't know. But as far as the big, overarching, theoretical umbrella issues, if you will, it's like he himself just created the infrastructure. It's been used just as much for bad as it's been used for good. So he didn't shoot anyone in a Brazil school. He didn't do anything anti-Semitic. He didn't plan any attacks or traffic any children. He didn't do it, right? He just turned a blind eye to whatever people want to do, and that's his business ethos. Free speech, free speech, free speech. We get it. And then on the other side, you see a lot of good points going like, hey, man, this is what's happening on your site. Do you mind if you work with us to moderate it a little bit? And you can't just have jail rules, It's like free speech absolutists. You just can't talk to them about anything. It's like, essentially the analogy is jail rules, sports. It's like MMA without any, okay, you can punch in the back of the head, you can headbutt, Technically, if you want to make they did that. It didn't work as good. Then they instituted some rules, made it a little more civilized. Basketball, you need a referee. You need a ref. You need rules. You can't just have unfettered freedom. We've tried it. It's human. It's because of human nature, So there's got to be some give or take. And then where everyone ends up, I don't know. But I'm just saying this is 100% a gray zone issue. So, but that's not part of the yellings about it. All the yellings I've seen have just been the two-step dance, which is what the name of this episode is going to be, is the two-step dance. You put your commie foot here, you put your fascist foot here, you put your commie foot back, and then you shake it all about. You do the fucking Civil War dance all the way around. That's what it's all about. I think I'm nailing this social commentary right now. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but, people will say, nobody nails it like Yanni. I don't say that. That's what people say. Not me. That's what people say. They call me the crypto podcaster. Not me. I don't do. It's just what people are saying. I'm going to declassify JFK. I don't know. Maybe he did it. Maybe the government. Aliens. Definitely interesting question. I've seen some stuff. I'm not saying yes. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying they're there. I love the way Trump does it. I love the way he protects himself like that. A little bit. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's my African-American over there. I don't mean it that way. I'm just saying, he knows how to rile people up. He knows how to rile people up. He knows how to make his supporters go rah-rah, and he knows how to make the other side go fascist. He knows how to do it, and he knows what he's doing. And he's playing that game because, like I've said before, he's an internet president. He's an internet president. And that's why he got so hurt by Mark Zuckerberg withholding the Biden story, the Hunter Biden story, because he really makes his bones on the net. He did in 2016. And in 2020, he could have again, but Mark Zuckerberg has admitted that the White House was wrong to pressure COVID on Facebook on COVID and the Hunter Biden thing. So he admitted to both. Obviously, it wasn't the White House. I know Trump is being dragged because he said the White House, but he's just quoting the article. He meant the White House now. But of course, they jump to him and they go, look he's a mumbling old man. He's got dementia. Everyone's just going for the jugular, baby. Let me tell you something right now. The woke era is over. The anti-woke era is over. And we're in a new era. You know what it is, Jesse? Zeitgeist. It would have worked better if I said it right. Zeitgeist alert. It's a tough word to get out when you have the word alert behind it. I tried to combine zeitgeist and alert. Zeig alert.
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah, zeitgeist alert. New zeitgeist alert. You know what the new era is now? It is the troll. It is the troll roast era that we're in. That's the new zeitgeist. So we went through the woke era, that zeitgeist. Then we went through the anti-woke era, where everyone's like, oh, yeah, DI, oh, my God, I'm fucking trans women. And now we're in the all free-for-all troll roast era, where everyone's just going for the jugular, man. You know? And the Dems have gotten in on the party. Like I said, they ain't talking like lawyers anymore. They're just going, he's got dementia. He's a weirdo. They're just going for it. Tucker's out there. He's on Megyn Kelly. You know, he doesn't have a boss anymore, so he doesn't worry about losing other people's money. You know, Tucker got fired, if you don't know, from Fox because he was promoting the faulty voter machine rigged election conspiracy. And what happened was Dominion sued, who makes the voter machines. And they won, right? Because when you say things on the news, it gets you good ratings. But then if someone decides, like, let's take this to a court of law and we have to show evidence and you can't, then you get sued for libel. And if you're suing someone who's got deep pockets, like our boy Rupert Murdoch does, you end up losing close to $1 billion. What was it? $700 plus $1 million lawsuit. So I know Tucker has said he got fired because he was just like, being too maverick. But he really got let go because Rupert Murdoch was like, hey, I love your high ratings, but I don't love losing 800 milli. I don't love that. So that's why he got sued. Fox is still paying because of his contract. Tucker, it was a pretty sweet deal for him. And now his podcast is #1 ahead of Joe Rogan's. Some people are charmed, baby. Some people are charmed. Some people are charmed. And he doesn't, he's in the internet now. So he can do an interview with Larry Sinclair and just go, I think it's true, man. I think, without asking him about his convicted fraud background, he could just throw it out there. We're at a time where you could just, you can lob it out. If you're on the internet, you can just, dude, what is true what you read on the internet? I got caught right there. Remember we were scrolling and I got caught on that meme? And I was like, oh, this meme says this. The meme said only one vice president has ever been elected president. And it was like an anti-Kamala. And I was like, oh, man, she's got no chance. And then I read one check on that. And I was like, oh, only 5 VPs since the beginning of the country have ever run for office. One of them won the popular vote, one of them won, and the other 3 were like in the 1700s or something like that. So you're going like, oh, it's just, you can lob it out there, dude. You just lob it out there. So he's on Megyn Kelly and he goes, Tim Waltz, he goes, when I was in boarding school, Megyn, when I was in boarding school, I saw a lot of guys. I met a lot of guys like Tim Waltz. And let me tell you, as soon as I saw that guy, I just went, he's a creeper. He's a creeper. And she goes, what do you mean, like pervert? And he goes, the guy's off. So it's also nice because he didn't really call him like a creeper, pedophile, or anything like that. But he did that Trump thing. Some people call me the crypto. Not me. That's what they say. It's not me, but that's what he's playing that sort of, that little 2-step. Can't sue me. But you can throw it out there. You can lob it out there, and people just, it's called test marketing. You throw it out. See how the people respond. Does it catch? Does Creeper catch? The Dems are going with weird. So I think he knows, because the weird is effective, I've told you. The weird is effective that the Dems are using. These guys are weird, It's working. It's good. It's good marketing. And I think maybe Tucker's trying to help out by going with Creeper. Let's get the Creeper to stick. Is Creeper going to stick? Let's go. Is he a Creeper? What did he do? He hugged a dog? What can we get him on? Is he a Creeper? Did he cut off a whale's head? Like RFK. His an old interview with his daughter from 2012, who may be banging Ben Affleck. Again, somebody reported it, so it's out there. Is it true? We don't fucking know. We don't fucking care. We just throw it out there. It gets in your head, and now Ben Affleck is fucking this girl. And guess what? I didn't even read the story. I saw someone say on the internet that he was tied to whatever her name is, Kitty fucking, his daughter. RFK Jr.'s daughter may be banging Ben Affleck. He was seeing with her. I don't fucking know. So there he is. They're banging. Ben Affleck's also, I don't know. I've met a lot of guys like Ben Affleck. In my day, I've met a lot of guys like Ben Affleck, and let me tell you, something's off about that guy. He's a creeper. Look, he's a creeper. I'm not saying he touches kids. Not me. That's what people say. It's not me. It's what people... You see what you could do? You could just make it happen, baby. Is there any truth in advertising? No. There's no truth in advertising. Do you know how many times companies get sued over and over and over and over again and are like held accountable for things? A lot of them are bullshit because everyone tries to sue companies and fucking make some money, whatever. They get settled out of court. They don't. So, you never know. But it takes a lot to fucking sue. It takes a lot. That's why when you fuck around with someone who's got endless money, like Dominion voting booths, they go, we're going to fucking sue. But it's this, we're all living in this zone of abuse that isn't exactly a crime, right? You call someone a creeper, you can just do it. For everyone, you can just fucking do it. You can just stain someone's fucking reputation and just go with it. I remember, I think I made fun of Mark Wahlberg for some, and it was funny, but I think I was technically wrong. I don't even think he did as bad as what the rumor was. I mean, did Richard Gere put a gerbil in his ass?
Definitely.
I mean, maybe it's like a fact that he did, right? Did the Clintons even murder these people?
Absolutely.
We don't fucking know. There's a good chance they didn't. There is no like hard evidence that they did, but we all believe that they did. Does the COVID vaccine kill everybody? People either go, it's an angel or it's the devil, baby. You know the two-step. It takes too long to get to the gray zones. Advertisers know that. They like pithy words. Boom. Run for the border. They like shit like that. Eat fresh. You're not eating fresh. But we're so conditioned to think that the companies, because they're making ads, are so moral. They're going by the system. They make ads, whatever. You're in a canoe. Here's some antidepressant. Don't you want to be in a canoe? I mean, where's the morality? My point is, and I've said it before, we've been usurped by a marketer's kind of mentality, I think. And we're all marketing. We've all become like these speedboat marketers. All these content creators are just creating these little characters of themselves, and it's extreme. And it's got to be extreme because that's what marketers do. It's quick. It's extreme. You can't throw a real McDonald's burger up there in the ad, right? Can you throw a real burger and you open the wrapper, it's all soggy and it looks, no, dude, you lied to the people. Weren't you? Didn't you do that in advertising? What'd you do? You shellacked it.
Red Lobster, yeah.
Yeah, Red Lobster was the food that they show in the ad. Is it even real food?
No, it's real food. It's just painted, shellacked.
Ooh, yeah.
You'll die if you eat it.
Ooh, so they actually do use a real lobster?
You have to use real food.
Oh, you have to. So there's
But,
a law.
yeah,
So
they-
some regulators got in there and like, you can't just fully lie. You can only lie a little bit. So then they found the loophole. We're like, we're going to paint it.
Right,
So
yeah.
what do? They paint it.
Oh, yeah,
This is an insider scoop on how you get fucking lied to on a daily basis.
They got all kinds of tricks, movie magic. They make the sauce out of glue.
In some ways, you got to go word of mouth for your product is probably the purest way, right? Like my Big Fat Greek Wedding, no marketing on that, just Greeks going to the movie theater 100 times, right?
Hey, you could watch PBS. If you don't want commercials, you could watch boring-ass PBS.
Dude, remember The Wire? The Wire, remember the show The Wire? That was 100% word of mouth. It was like, there was no big marketing campaign on The Wire. There was no like, old, ingrained in the culture motif of like the mob guy that's going to attract your attention. It was a really heady, one season was about the schools and it was like really for like people with a little bit of a brain.
So good.
It was so good, but it was word of mouth.
But it also had the Sopranos lead-in. That was a big deal.
Yeah, but dude, but
Sopranos
most
at
of it,
9, Wire at 10.
but most of the popularity was after it aired. Like people just going everywhere you went, people were going like The Wire, and then people get mad at you, and they're like, "You didn't watch The Wire? How could you have not seen The Wire?" Word of mouth. When people are like, "Dude, you got to see this guy." It's in comedy too. When like the other comics are like, "Dude, this guy," the guy that the other comics are talking about is always the guy, right? It's when the comics are going like, "This guy's fucking good." It's like it doesn't need the push, right? Because the push is never truthful because you can't hit the gray zones in the push. Well, the guy's good. If someone was explaining me, you see him live. What I hear a lot is, saw him live. I didn't expect that. I didn't think he was fun. Like, I didn't know. I just see him fucking pissing everyone off all the time. I didn't know that like he was good at that. Like stuff like that is because you gotta be that fucking one thing that comes across quick and you sell it and you know how to sell it quick. You gotta shellac that fucking lobster. You have to shellac that fucking lobster. So what do? They spray it with chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spray paint.
Do they
shellac.
Photoshop it?
There's a little.
Yeah. What do they do to the girls' bodies on the cover? Who's the biggest liars? Yeah.
A lot of retouching.
So everyone's doing that now.
Yeah, of course.
Remember, what's his name? What's this guy's name? I don't know. I have a mental block on his name because I have sympathy for the parents of the people who lost their babies.
Wait,
Alex Jones,
yeah.
who people fucking love because he's entertaining as fuck. And he is. But that's one of those instances where someone with a lot of charisma, of course. People are always like, he was right about this. He was right about this. The dude does like 3-hour broadcasts for 40 years. A broken clock is going to be right a few times. They emphasize the positive because the power of charisma, which serial killers use very well, just makes you want to like a guy. And Alex Jones is very likable. So yeah, he was right about Epstein or about the fucking place where all the elites meet.
The gay fish.
The gay fish, probably right about that. But I mean, how many things was he right about overall? What did he talk about? Did he talk about the retreat in California that the elites go to for 5,000 hours of broadcasting? Or was he right about 2 or 3 things out of 16 million things that came out of his fucking mouth? One of those being the crisis actors in Newtown. And so he's a perfect example. So you go, and then when you're caught, right? And then when you're held, your feet are held to the fire, and you go, hey man, there's some real world consequences of this. My family was harassed. Your followers were calling, showing up, demanding to see fucking dead baby photo, whatever was going on. You go, like he did, and say, it was a character piece. I was playing a character. It's not me. I was just playing a character. Which technically, I don't know what to do with that. I'm just saying this is what it is. I'm just saying that's what it is. But he found the thing that worked. Everyone goes on the internet, not for you, including me. I'm here to make money. Everyone's here to find something that works. And I think self-interest is the strongest motivator for people. And they just try a bunch of stuff. And then what happens is one thing works. And then you double down because that's what the algorithm likes. The algorithm doesn't know you're lying or being immoral or galvanizing a bunch of fucking crazy people or morons. They don't know that. It just sees the numbers. So if you play the algorithm right, then you want to rinse and repeat the same thing over and over again. So if you say Newtown was fake and it gets 15 trillion views, you go, that's who we are now. We're that guy. And it worked. And so then you just keep doing that. And you keep doing that until you're calling Stalin a Jew. And that's how it works. And it's fun to watch these people just because what they're trying to do is maintain that character or extreme position that gets the views or works for them on whatever level it works, you know, until they have, you got to keep upping it. So it gets to a point where Candace Owens just goes, Stalin was a Jew and Ataturk was a Jew. And she goes, wait, you guys don't like that? My anti-Jew algorithm was fucking pumping. What happened? Do you know what I'm saying? It probably could be said in a much more pithy way, but marketed. It could be marketed better. But my overall point, everything I'm speaking to is it really does seem that the internet has conditioned everyone, has given this it's a digital land of opportunity where it's about content, right? So content is about selling something. When you're creating something, you got to sell something, right? And so people just figure out what sells, and if it works, it works, right? And reality is it's a tough sell. Reality and gray zones are a tough sell. Here's a real McDonald's ad. Hey guys, there's tons of studies that were linked to diabetes, obesity. Our stuff is cooked in a microwave. That's going to give you cancer. It sits on a truck forever. The meat is the lowest fucking quality because we're all about padded bottom lines. It's a whole big company, dude. We've totally used our lobby to buy politicians and get the best real estate on highways and stuff, so you have no options. We've really broken into that poor market and been able to charge very low because we're giving you literal shit. I mean, it's made of garbage. So it's so cheap to make. That's why it pops with poor communities. It's mostly sugar, dude. It's so cheap. We addict you with the bread. There's sugar in the fucking bread. We're going to kill you. But we figured out a way to be really tasty, like Big League Chew, like fucking Nerds Candy. And if you're in a jam and you're on the road, you got no other options. It's really good. Also, we've put a playpen for your fat fucking kids to try to fit down the slide if they can. Anyway, it tastes good. That should be the real, what's the motto now? What's the motto?
Is it I'm loving it?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. As someone takes their insulin needle, just like this, and goes, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
The real motto, if we were talking about reality and gray zones, would be tastes great in a jam. Affordable, the right choice for you if you're poor. And here's all these animals to get you started young because we want, like Camel and like cigarettes, we market to the young because older people's brains are developed and they have long-term plans and they understand consequences. And we can't really market to them. We're trying to get people loyal to there you go. That's for adults. We got a clown and a bunch of Muppet type characters to appeal to young children so we could get them to like it and they can demand it from their parents because their brains are so susceptible to the tricks fed to the to a child's subconscious. A child's subconscious, it has no fucking defenses. Even if you're a good parent, you cannot stop your kid from loving McDonald's.
Can't compete with a Happy Meal.
You can't compete with a Happy Meal. People don't understand the strength in marketing. They just don't get it. They just don't understand, and they don't see through it. And I don't blame them. I'm a victim to it. You can't do anything with it. You can't stop it. It speaks to a part of your brain that you can't. Your brain just goes, it fries. Even right now, dude, if there was a quarter pounder with cheese here, the best part about McDonald's is that you get the smell and you're like, and then you look at the burger and that first bite is delicious, and then you eat it, and then immediately, it's not even immediately you feel like shit, like immediately you feel your body just breaking up with you. Your body's just like, I don't want to be with you anymore. That's just it. So, and the only thing that pressures these companies is like regulators, lawsuits. That's it. But, we worship the dollar here. It is really the United States of advertising and has been for a long time, hasn't it? It really has been. It's about the sale. It's really about the sale. It's not really about like what's good for you. It's about like what's going to make me money. And if you're not marketed, you can take anyone and market them and make it happen. That's how powerful I think marketers are. They can just take anyone and fucking ram it down your throat. I think I'm into Power Slap now. I think I'm into it because Dana White just keeps insisting that the numbers are through the roof, which speaks to the theme we had last episode, where I think a gazillion people tuned into the Elon Musk, Donald Trump interview by their metrics. So Power Slap, and according to Dana White, it is just, the numbers are through the roof, even though it airs on Rumble. And anytime he posts something about it, I mean, he riddles the UFC, which is an amazing product, one of the best. It's the best new sports product we've had in how many years? I mean, it's an amazing sport. It's better than boxing. It's everything. So hats off to Dana White for UFC. But just when you're king of the world like that, you just got a bunch of yes men around you. And I think everyone's just going, yeah, boss, we love Power Slap. Nobody's just going, hey, this is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. It's not a sport. This is hostage hitting. You're just watching people practice how to torture hostages. There's no sport to it. The guy puts his hand behind his back and just gets smacked to see if he can get knocked out. It's so fucking brutal. Look at the views. 54, 36,000. It looks like my podcast page, but double or triple the numbers.
No, that's 500.
I know, but there's other ones 30, 36, 52,
those
50.
But the majority are in the hundreds.
Still low for a sport. 598. Let's look at some of the comments. Do you think those numbers are real? Do you hear anyone talking about you feel like anyone's talking about Power Slap? It's kind of like when people can see behind the curtain a little bit, it's because it's ridiculous. Like when the Dems were trying to say Biden's fine and everyone's going like, dude, you're gaslighting us. Fuck that face swollen as fuck. This is the highest comment. This is the stupidest shit I've ever seen, slapping each other like little girls. This is the most fucking retarded Goyim game and of course you got to throw is Goyim, that's not Jew. Yeah. Oh, okay. So here's an angry Zionist. This is the most stupid fucking retarded Goyim game and self-humiliation ritual ever contrived by the ruling elites to keep the Goyim ignorant and occupied. They're surely sharing some big yucks at the Kabbalah Command Center.
So it's anti-Jewish.
Anti-Jew. So the Goyim, he doesn't even know what Goyim mean, right? Because aren't Goyim...
Goyim is the non-Jew.
Yeah, so he doesn't even know what he's talking about. He's saying this is for the the non-Jews to keep them stupid. So,
Right.
Right.
It's a Jewish plot.
all right, so it's okay. Clearly don't put the shoulders down. Taylor Swift is a man. This quality sucks. These folks are probably on their way to getting brain damage, just like boxers and football players. I always wanted to be a professional athlete. Damn, man, I think I can do it. Look, here's another one. This is the dumbest, gayest thing ever. I'm telling you, dude, look, you don't have to read all the comments to know that nobody wants this, but he just fucking pushes it. And I think I'm into it now because that's the power of just ramming it down your throat. Every UFC fight, which I order every one, there's commercials for these between every fight, you know? It's just commercial after commercial after commercial. And it's so bad that every time you watch it, you just go, oof. So here it is. This is the sport right here. This is the sport, dude.
You want a little volume?
No, I know you're going to... So this is what happens when you don't have one guy around you going, Dana, I know you invested a lot of money in this. I know you believe in it. But, dude, we're on like season 4 and we're still on Rumble, dude. And the people, there's no buzz on this. There's no buzz. And that's my point, bringing it back. The things that are good always get a buzz. There's always like a buzz going on. An organic buzz, not a buzz that, the UFC just started getting an organic buzz. They didn't have like major media dollars. It was just an organic buzz just started to go because it was good. You can convince some people for a while that your shit product is good with marketing. You're always going to be able to convince a small group of loyal people who are batshit crazy that your thing is good if you can hook into the thing that makes them feel powerless, and then however you can make them feel powerful, because that's what a lot of crazy people love. Bullied people, and I was never a bully. I think bullying is bad, but that's what you do. If you can hook in, make powerless people feel power, you can always get a base of crazies, So I'm sure there's a base of people who are fucking into power slap because they just live and die by Dana White. Dana White is also apparently having an effect on Mark Zuckerberg because he went and he apologized for the Hunter Biden thing. And, that was Dana going, listen, man, you want to do jujitsu with my guys? Let's talk about what you did with the Hunter Biden laptop. And so Mark Zuckerberg has finally apologized and said, it didn't turn out to be true. The White House did pressure me to censor COVID content. But when he said censor COVID content from the White House, does he mean Trump's White House?
He said Biden officials.
Oh, Biden officials. So after Trump lost. Yeah. Government pressure in a letter to judiciary. He's called the government pressure from the Biden administration to censor content on its platforms. And he said he did bend to it and he's sorry. So, and some people are going, it's no fucking good. A lot of people were hurt, whatever. But I do think that might have swung the election for Trump.
The Hunter laptop story?
Yeah, that it was real. So, I don't know, Zuck. I think I found out who the next person on Trump's transitional team is going to be. I'll tell you, we're going to go RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, who just now came on board, Mark Zuckerberg, welcome to the Trump train. I'd love to see your Trump cards reposted on eBay for double the value. All right, guys, want to give a shout out, as always, to exclusiveautoshipping.com. If you're moving your car out of state, you bought your car out of state, there's only one website to hit. If you're listening to this, of course, there you are. If you're in need, boom, here you go, exclusiveautoshipping.com. They'll give you a free quote and student and military discount supply. They will ship your car for you. We're also brought to you by forthefree.art. They tell you about shows and bands in Hawaii. And they got shows again in December 2020. Nate Linder, Think marketing, think Nate Linder. He's a digital marketer, dude. That's all you need to know. If you need digital marketing, you want to rank on the number one spot on Google, you want to monetize, talk about customer acquisition, not just clicks, hit up natelinder.com. Think marketing, think Nate Linder. It is there. So I don't know. Is that a good marketing slogan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Think marketing, think Nate Linder. Yeah. I do right now. DisplayPros.net, 10% off your first purchase if you tell them Yannis sent you. They'll create custom trade booths, retail fixtures, and promotional items. So that'll help you build your business as well. Or expand it by creating those promotional items, trade show booths, fixtures. What's a fixture?
It's a fixture.
It's a fixture. Excellent customer service. That's what they really hang their hat on. So go. Whether it's getting ready for a trade show, setting up a retail space, or you just need some killer promotional items, DisplayPros.net. MA Insurance Services, boutique insurance company in St. Petersburg, Florida. You can hit them up at 727-475-1650 or email or their website, mainsuranceservices.com. Matthew Albani. All types of plans, professional, commercial, workers' comp, auto, private, everything. Real estate, whatever you need, Dad. Business or commercial property owners, you're looking for peace of mind, hit up mainsuranceservices.com. You get that personal touch with a smaller company. Rebels-Raiders.com. You want a goat shirt? You want the profits from that shirt to go to goat animal rescues? Do you care about goats? You care about Armageddon and goats. This is a very niche population we're going after here. My fave, my guy, hit him up for their beautiful military packs and load-bearing equipment, magazine holsters, and stuff like that. This guy's not really, he just wants you to just go to the website. He's got great product. The backpacks, they're just, at this point, I think he bought 2 backpacks and sent it to us.
Hey, where is mine, by the way?
I stole yours.
You.
Rebels-Raiders.com. Check it out. There's cool stuff on the site. Go check it out so this guy can buy a Lamborghini and set it on fire. That's his goal. Suds Auto Spa, Pittsburgh, south of Pittsburgh, Bridgeville area. info@sudsautospa.com. If you want to clean your car out, crack it open, clean it out, hit them up at the number 412-564-5033. They will. They specialize in automotive longevity services. So if you know what that is, you know what it is. And that's what you need. And they will travel. So hit them up. Also want to give a shout out to PCBTechArt.com. PCBTechArt.com. Right here. They made me this beautiful Yannis Pappas hour template. They offer 3D printing services for prototypes. They bring your ideas to life with precision and speed. Visit PCBTechArt.com. Use the code Yannis10 for 10% off your first order. You can also buy their Chevy Silverado, GMC Sierra Slim phone charge adapters on their website or Amazon that keep you powered on the go, ensuring you're always connected. Love PCBTechArt.com.